I I think truthfully, like, I love to be able to jump into the deep end, and I think that that's part of it. You really have to. The more you do it, the more comfortable you become, and then it becomes second nature, like you said. And I think what really helped me was I was a shy kid growing up, and my dad owned a bar, and he forced me to start bartending at like 16. And I was so uncomfortable. I was so like, I didn't know how to make the drinks. I didn't know what I was doing. And then the more you do it, every time became easier. And then you learned how to talk to all different types of people. I mean, it was such a weird experience to be like 16 and having to be like, oh my God, I have to make conversation.
Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that guide them through life's ups and downs, helping you discover wisdom that might just change how you see your own journey. Today's guest is Ryan Frankowski, a realtor from Pittsburgh who's lived quite a few lives, from Manhattan sales engineer to LA luxury designer, party animal to sober podcaster. He's someone who's learned that transformation isn't just possible, it is powerful. Let's settle in and hear the words that helped Ryan rewrite his story. Can you tell us your name, a little bit about yourself, and your favorite quote?
Yes, my name is Ryan Frankowski. My friends call me Franco, and I am from the Mocktails or Messy podcast. And, one of my favorite quotes recently, I just put it on a recent post, and I'm going to pull it up on my phone. And it was a quote that I found. It's just kind of like about leveling up and really staying like in that mindset of utilizing a new person. So I said, your next level requires a new level of you. So
Ooh.
that's what I'm trying to live by right now.
Wow. Wow. Your next level requires a new level of you. Wow. Isn't that, when we look at it that way, you then realize that, wait, the reason why I've not gotten to my next level is because I still have that old me. So the me that is required to get to the next level, I haven't gotten to that. It's not yet here. I'm still trying to meet that
Yes.
me.
You get it. You understand it. I mean, it
Yeah.
is something that I just kind of was like doing a little bit of research, and it's been a year and a half for me to take out alcohol and weed or marijuana out of the equation. I always say I don't know if I had a problem, but I did always feel like I wasn't able to get as much accomplished when I had those weekends that were foggy or, just waking up a little bit like hungover. And I do feel like now that I've taken those things out of the equation, I've been
Yeah.
able to accomplish like double, triple, quadruple the amount of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Your next level requires a new you. And for me, the question that keeps bugging me right now is, what does it take to become that new you? Right? What is the process? What does the metamorphosis looks like?
For me, it's about my surroundings and filtering out people and habits that were not serving me to be efficient with my goals. I was focused on people that might have been weighing me down, and you want to be loyal and you love that person because you've been friends for 10 years, but then you realize that you have to love yourself and you have to love your, I don't know, like progress and success. And if you could see them like weighing you down, you have to cut them out. Love them, but I feel that they're kind of hindering my growth.
As much as what you're saying is true, I feel like sometimes we over exaggerate everything because, we as humans, we always like to blame everybody other than ourselves,
Mhm.
right? It's my mom. That's the reason why I'm not doing well with my life. But the people in my surrounding, my neighborhood, they are not really ambitious as I am. That's why I'm not doing well. And I mean, they could not be, they might not be ambitious, which might be true. When would we actually sit there and say, wait, it's me? I mean, yeah, all those things are there, but those things are just excuses that I just want to like support me not doing what I need to do.
Yeah, like you have to look in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah. When you mentioned the next level requires a new you, what I could think of is, how we were in kindergarten and they'll teach us the ABC, A B C D E F. When I was in kindergarten, that stuff was I don't know about you, but that stuff was really, really difficult. Man,
Hmm.
that felt like, I was trying to like muster a couple of words, and here you are teaching me ABC, and then I mix up things, and I'm trying to count the numbers and all that. And then when we move from that, we move to the next stage. We started writing. We started writing 2-letter words, 3-letter words, 4-letter words, and then we move from that. But now when I look back at kindergarten, I'm like, I can't believe kindergarten was difficult for me.
No, I understand. I
Yeah.
struggled with reading and spelling, and I feel like that really made me feel insecure on like my peers who were more intelligent or, book smart. And then I realized, wait, they don't have something that I have. There's pros and cons. And you realize that you were given a gift and your friends were given a gift where, maybe they're just very smart, book smart, but they were
Yeah.
not comfortable being social like me and you having this interaction.
Yeah.
This would freak them out, even through Zoom. They would not want to have a conversation with somebody they didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And for us, it's about finding that fair advantage and leaning towards it and asking, how can I be better? Right? How can I take it to the next level? Because being the new you, it's not necessarily having more money in your bank account. Of course, that's nice, but it's about having the mental bandwidth, the mental capacity to handle this next level. Having the what do you call it now, the endurance, the patience. Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join, or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation. To go through this next stage, having the skills, very important.
Yeah. I mean, you understand from scheduling all these interviews. Like, I mean, you have to be organized. You have to really like edit them and like perfect like how you're gonna like, have a conversation. I'm sure you have an outline prepared and you have built this like system in place. And you really cannot be somebody that isn't really looking at like the bigger picture. Like this is the present, but like you have a goal and I'm sure you've written it down like most of us if we want to
Yeah.
accomplish something.
Yeah, yeah. Like I still remember when I started the podcast, right? For me,
Hmm.
I was like, you know how you put off stuff, like you put it off, and it becomes heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And then one day you're like, enough is enough. Let's just dive into the water.
Right. Yes, I know. I feel you. It's
Yeah,
like we
that.
wait for what?
Yeah, and we were talking about being the next level. Well, okay, yeah, I was talking about the podcast, and I said I had
Oh,
to like
yes.
just plunge myself into it. And guess what happened after the first 10 to 20 interview was really scary. I'd have this outline and everything, questions I want to ask. I'll have backup questions of things I wanted to ask because having a conversation was really hard. And then after the 20th, the 30th interview, now I have a system in place. Now, at first, doing 5 interviews or 4 interviews in a day, that itself was stressful. It was really hard. I felt like I
Oh,
was breaking.
yeah.
Yeah, like I felt I was eating glass. But then after some time, right, now I'm like, the days I don't even do interviews, I'm feeling like, what's happening? Right? 3, 4, 5. I'm like, nothing's happening. It's just a conversation. Right. But it took me to
Yeah.
plunge into the fire and step out of it to actually become better and stronger. And so I realized that it's not as scary as I think it is. It's just all in here.
It's so true. I mean, I definitely feel you. Like, even like getting my real estate license, I was like taking so long studying and not actually like going to take and schedule the exam. And guess what? I didn't feel prepared, but I still passed. So it
Yeah.
was like, you just sometimes have to really just, even like the first podcast interview or even the first exam that you're going to take this like real estate exam or the first podcast, it's like maybe you don't feel prepared, but you really just have to push yourself to be like, this is the deadline. This is the date. And whether you're prepared or not, at least you get the ball rolling.
Yeah. The thing is, when you look back, you realize that how come I postponed this stuff for years when I could have just done it? It wasn't even a big deal. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
Yeah, we feel like we have this imposter syndrome, like, oh, well, you don't have enough experience, or you don't have enough, like, education, or you don't have enough, whatever it may be. But guess what? You have to start somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
you just have to do it, jump in. And like most people that are like, the most successful sometimes are the least experienced, and they have that, like, they jump in and they feel like they're confident, and having that trick of the brain, you just like, how many times did it make you like feel confident in your, podcasting abilities to interview? Like, would you say 20?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite intense. Like at some point, I felt like running away. But you know how you forced yourself, such as you've burned the bridges that there is no running away, so you have to show up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
You're not gonna turn this down, you're gonna follow through.
yeah, yeah. Now I'm looking at it. I'm asking myself, like, why did it take me so long? Like years to actually start doing the podcast, actually reaching out to people, starting messaging people, and now they would respond to me and say, "Yeah, sure, let's do the podcast." I'm like, they accepted, really? And then I realized that, dude, even before you send the message, you expected them to reject you. Why would you do that? Like, why? And so when they accept you, even you're shocked, you're surprised, you're not prepared for it. You're like, so what am I supposed to do now? They accepted. I'm like, why did you send the message in the first place? Is it not for them to accept?
No, it's like you're tricking yourself. You're like, shit, it's actually happening.
Yeah, yeah. I think
But I think, is that you?
no, you're saying something. I'm listening to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I think truthfully, like, I love to be able to jump into the deep end, and I think that that's part of it. You really have to. The more you do it, the more comfortable you become, and then it becomes second nature, like you said. And I think what really helped me was I was a shy kid growing up, and my dad owned a bar, and he forced me to start bartending at like 16, and I was so uncomfortable. I was so like, I didn't know how to make the drinks. I didn't know what I was doing. And then the more you do it, every time became easier. And then you learned how to talk to all different types of people. I mean, it was such a weird experience to be like 16 and having to be like, oh my God, I have to make conversation with these people who are paying me to be like and I was shy. I wasn't conversationally talented. I was like, this is like a 70-year-old guy that is like, I don't know what to talk to him about. And then you realize that it's just, you're kind of more of like a listener. You gotta listen, and you really have to just like have that like comfortable approach, like body language, like let them open up to you, and then it becomes pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks for sharing the quotes. Recently, I saw this bold, extreme quotes, and it was like, other than death, right? All other failures are psychological. I think Alex Omozi that said it. And when I looked at it, and I'm like, it was, it was like a bold statement for me, and I'm like, ooh. So you lose the stuff, and like, yeah, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're terrible. Like, other than someone losing their life or dying, like, there's really nothing you can't get back from, because then you see other persons who've gone through the similar situation, who are crushing it and still doing well with their life, and you're like, ooh. So it's just my mind is where I feel about this thing. That's what's affecting me.
Yeah, like I feel anxious being around certain people, but then you realize, what is the worst case scenario? Like, you're going to just say the wrong thing, or you're going to like not have a good time. Well, just suck it up and realize that, like, this this isn't
Yeah,
your, like, you have to protect your peace, and you have to state like, okay, if I'm going to be around these people that make me uncomfortable, I have to limit my time. I have to have like, hey, I'm going to give an hour to them. Maybe it's a business transaction, and you have to like meet with them because they're buying your product, or because they're paying clients to you. And I will, I'll do it, but then I'll make sure that I have like something to follow up with, like, hey, I have to leave by 8:30, so that there's an end time. And
yeah,
so it's like having that in your head. I don't know if that's a great example, but like I have
Yeah.
to be around people that I don't necessarily vibe well with.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all have that. We all have our preferences. We all have like our, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like life is too short to like not, protect your peace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good thing you mentioned that, because the previous episode I just had with the guest you hopped on, we were talking about guiding your heart, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Earlier on, you talked about the next level requires a new you, and I've
The
seen that.
next level requires the new level of you.
Okay, the new level of you, yeah. And I realized that for all the endeavors we do, you talked about imposter syndrome and all that, and we want to be confident, right? And confidence, most people think that confidence is I affirm, I believe, and all that, which is great. But the best way to be confident in something, business or all that, is to have a proven track record. I mean, if you're working with a client that they've helped 100 different persons like you do the same, get the same results, like you are like more confident than you're more confident in them than someone who just started, and you're the first client they are trying to like to test and see if it works, right? It's way different. And that's what the same thing we do. For me now, before I hop on an interview, sometimes I feel like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. And I look at myself and I'm like, dude, you've done over 200 interviews. So I have so much evidence that even when I don't feel confident, the evidence, the evidence end up screaming at me and telling me that that's the bloody lie. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you already are doing it and I feel super like comfortable. I like the energy, I like the vibe. I can totally like just sit back and like let you, and I think even the way that you felt when I said that quote, I was a little unconfident, a little insecure to give that to you because it was so new. But I really love the way you kind of responded to it, and you didn't have to do that. But maybe there's something to be said, your is relatable wisdom. And my message for Mocktails Are Messy is
Yeah.
really like picking up people's wisdom and try to be better. And it's relatable to like have a lot of people that are messy and party animals. And that's like we're learning
Yeah.
to evolve.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh thank you so much for sharing this quote. And right now, I'm reminding myself that what's the challenge, what's the mountain, what's the obstacle, what's the whatever the case might be that I have to go through in order to become that new me, so that next level of me, so that I can go to the next level. Right. And usually in different cases,
Yes.
it's
And
it's
what
clear.
is that?
Yeah, because so we can find it and do the work as fast as possible, so we can move to the next stage. Because moving to the next stage, because
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
I got you.
yeah,
You're back.
yeah, most people believe that if I keep doing this thing for the next 4 or 5 years, I would become really good at it. And that's not true. There are people who they be doing the same thing over and over again, and they're like terrible at it. And then you see someone who they spend 2 years, intense focus, moving like intentional about their practice, intentional about what they do, intentional about their approach things, getting feedback, iterating, moving, like, and they improve way faster than someone who, I've been doing this for a longer time, and they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even have the skills yet, because it's the passage of time doesn't necessarily equal growth, right? You have to deal with the challenges. You have to deal with the mountains, right? Even if you spend time around the mountains, it's not going to make you improve and become better. It doesn't work like that.
No, and I noticed myself, I used to always be like, okay, well, I want to pay this person to help me, and I want to pay this person to help me, and I want to pay that person. Like, I'd always want to hire consultants, whether it be a marketing agent, a publicist, or a personal trainer, or like an accountant for your taxes. And I realized I was bleeding money
Okay.
trying to pay others to help me when really I needed to find and do research on my own, because truthfully, like a lot of times it's like procrastination, it's laziness, it's not disciplining yourself because you have it in you, or there's
Yeah.
enough research out there with Google and ChatGPT and YouTube. Like you can find and dig and research on ways how to grow your business or get into physical shape or, feel more confident in a certain industry. that you're like, trying to be better at, like an expert in something that you love, that you're passionate about, and you want to make it into a business. Like, I think that we need to discipline ourselves more instead of just trying to outsource immediately. It's like maybe as you grow, you have to build a team, but I was always trying to do it too quickly and
Yeah.
not do it on my own.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, getting a team and asking for not for consultation, all that, it's important, but it should not be an escape from doing the work we need
Yes.
to do.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. You nailed it. It
yeah,
was escaping. I wanted to
yeah,
escape the hard work and just
yeah,
get there fast. And I'm very impatient. So, like, I think that was my issue. That was my downfall.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm learning. I'm learning. I
yeah,
think it's like, surrounding yourself with people like yourself who is doing something positive, that is doing something in the similar industry. And also, really, like you said, like you could do the same thing for 2 years and not really grow if you're
yeah,
not willing to accept constructive criticism or
yeah.
pivot if something's not working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time does not equal growth. Doesn't matter. Sometimes the seed is already dead and you're just waiting. Like I remember when we were young, we'll plant. They'll give us seeds for agriculture class, and we'll go home. We'll plant these seeds and we'll monitor the seeds. And sometimes we realize that the reason is some of the seeds don't grow is because in the first place they were dead. So even no matter what. And so, even though they tell us 7 days, we wait 7 days. Okay, what's happening? Stuff is not coming up. 10 days, it's not germinating. 14 days, what's going on? Right? And then we realize that, man, passage of time doesn't equal growth. First of all, the seed has to be there. You need to accept nutrients and many other factors. But it's not just, oh, if I wait 14 days, it will grow. Like that, it doesn't work that way. We try.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. Thank you so much. And I'm really bad with pronunciation. How do I say your first name?
How do you say my first name?
Yes.
Is it not obvious?
Okay. It's like I'm really bad with
There is no,
pronunciation.
don't stop thinking anything. What you see on the screen is that's my name. Say it.
Yeah. Kowuje?
Where are you seeing it there? Okay, my first name is Wisdom. My surname is
Wisdom.
Okonkwo. Yeah,
Akonko.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. I was saying Akonko.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wisdom.
yeah. That's my name.
Relatable Wisdom. What a great name.
Yeah, I
Oh my
mean,
God.
yeah,
That's
pun intended.
amazing.
Yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
how do you say the last name?
Okonkwo. Okonkwo.
Onkonko. Onkonko. Okay. Because when I say Okonko, I was like, I'm not gonna say this right.
Yeah, that's my surname.
Okay.
Where can people learn more about you and what you do?
You can find me on Instagram at Mocktails or Messy. And you can also, find us on podcast, Apple, Spotify, Mocktails or Messy. We'd love to invite you, Wisdom, in our studio someday that you're in the States. We have a great studio set up.
You've been listening to Relatable Wisdom, and I've been your host, Wisdom Okonkwo. You've been listening to the podcast where every story, quote, and insight helps you see life a little differently. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share it with someone who loved the conversation. For more inspiring voices and timeless wisdom, visit relatablewisdom.com. Until next time, keep living, learning, and collecting wisdom that matters most to you.